I'm joined by Martin this afternoon, who is joining us from St. Agnes. And Martin owns a company called Evolution. So, Martin, I'll hand over to you if you'd like to tell us what it is you do, how long you've been running the business, and the services which you offer.
Okay. Essentially, what we do is we help individuals and organisations realise their potential. So help you become the best you can be, whether that's as an individual or as an organisation. Our full company title is Evolution Personal and Corporate Development Limited. So it does what it says on the tin, essentially. We've been in business for 26 years now. So quite a while. We initially in Northwest and we relocated to Cornwall in 1999, so March 99, and I actually relocated the business in sort of January 2020. So 2000, not 2020, January 2000. Yeah,
Big difference.
It was a very long time ago anyway, and I've kind of forgotten all the details about it. So what we offer is everything from helping organizations with their vision and strategy, helping them with their purpose, because obviously it's a big thing now is that businesses should be purpose-driven businesses, and we've been banging on about that for 26 years. So we've got processes that can really help you define your purpose in a really positive and powerful way. So moving from what you might perceive your purpose to be, we were working with a procurement team at Derriford Hospital who perceived their procurement as procuring goods and services at best value to the trust. And then when we went through our process, they perceived their purpose as to help save lives, which is obviously a very different idea in terms of it being aspirational and inspirational. So we've got a process that can really help every organisation do that. And we've worked public, private sector, third sector, just helping organisations with that. And we can follow that up with all sorts of training and development, so leadership programs. I'm an NLP master trainer, so we do NLP training. I've been doing that for 25 years now. And we do sort of sales training, customer service training, anything that involves interactions with other people, whether that be customers or internally. So we can help with things like motivation and delegation and all that kind of stuff. We also provide coaching service. So I've currently got, I think, somewhere in a region of 60 coaching clients around the UK. Which obviously, Zoom has helped me to increase that dramatically, because I'm working with somebody this morning from London, and then when we finish this, I'll be working with somebody from Cumbria. So, it would have been quite a difficult thing to go and meet them in person on the same day, So yeah, that's sort of what we do. I also work as a life coach as well, and also I'm a hypnotherapist, so I do therapy work and stuff as well. So yeah.
Fantastic, a great spectrum to cover. And I guess it feels like I was going to say giving back to the county, but actually, no, you're not. You're giving back to more than just that, because you have got clients all over the UK, which is fantastic.
And Europe, and Europe. So I've done a lot of negotiation training in Europe as well. So that was pre-COVID, to be fair. I'm still doing some in Europe, but obviously I'm not traveling yet.
Yeah, we're going to talk about COVID now, actually. But obviously you're you got 26 years, you're a very well-established company. But how was working through the pandemic for you? Did you have to make any changes? Did the company shut down? Were you still operating?
Well, initially it was a complete nightmare, because we were looking at potentially our best year for the last 26 years, essentially. Certainly since 2008. And it all went within 2 days, literally. We lost all of that business. We also fell through all of the kind of government funding gaps, because we're a limited company, so I still had to work, so I couldn't, so there was all those kind of rules. But what we did have to do, obviously, was just change the business model. And something I'd been working on for about a year prior to COVID was to develop an online academy. And I'd spent a lot of time and just created one course, and I thought this just isn't going to work. So what it meant was it gave me the opportunity, and I spent essentially 2 years sat in front of the camera, and we launched our online academy earlier this year. During COVID, I did a lot of work around helping people make the transition to working from home. So a lot of coaching, a lot of webinars on things like personal resilience and how to work from home and still be effective. And that kind of then started to transition into doing some leadership development. I continued the NLP training because we'd started to use Zoom. We'd been working face to face, and we had to transition to Zoom. And that also, I recorded all that content online as well. So it was a real opportunity in a sense, although we just lost all that income. It was an opportunity to create this online academy that I've been thinking about for years. And so it's there. We've got about 18 courses on it now. We launched it in April, I think, and we've got about 200 users at the moment already. So they're a mix of individual members, so you can join it as a membership site, and you pay a monthly amount and access to different amounts of training. And we've got a lot of corporate users. So and we kind of blend the training a lot now. So like with the leadership program we run, all the content's online. So we've got one client who we did an introduction, we did a couple of sessions and some coaching, and then they looked at all the content. We've got another client who just bought all the content. I did an introductory day and they're facilitating it all in-house themselves. So there's a real opportunity to be flexible with the delivery now. So it's really exciting.
So predominantly most of your clients, is it sort of, are you dealing with sort of one-man bands? Are you B2B, B2C? How are you you very varied?
No, absolutely anybody and everybody. So ranging from one-man bands up to, I'm currently working with DEFRA and the NHS doing some leadership programs for them. So, you know, from a public sector, private sector, I work with people like the Red Cross and Cornwall Museums Partnership and Air Ambulance and stuff over the years. So very much, so anybody really, essentially, because at the end of the day, any business is a bunch of people who talk to each other and get things done. And it doesn't matter whether that's public, private, third sector, one-man band, whatever it is. It's all about the way that you interact that helps you actually achieve what you want to achieve or not, really.
Yeah. And then how about Evolution itself? Is it just you working at the business, or are there other people as part of your team?
Well, the model at the moment is we use associates as we need to, so self-employed associates. There's me, there's a bookkeeper and marketing person. So that's the kind of core of the business. And then, like I say, we use really highly qualified, experienced people when we need to.
Fantastic. And then I guess talking about the future of the business and your team, where do you see your business journey taking you in the next 5 years?
Well, one of the interesting things at the moment, we just came off a call and we're setting up a collaboration. So I've got sort of 3 or 4 collaborations that are potentially really kind of interesting, big projects. So I can see a lot of growth for us over the next few years, particularly with the mix of online coaching and the online academy, which is growing all the time. We're constantly putting new content on there, new courses and things. So it gives a lot of people access from all over the world. So certainly we're going to be expanding more kind of globally. So the first webinar I ran in lockdown, I had people from Saudi Arabia and China on, and then some NLP training I did. I had somebody from Puerto Rico and someone from Germany and someone from Scotland as well.
Wow,
so
fantastic.
You know, it is starting to because it breaks down those kind of barriers. So I can see us growing in those areas. I can see the collaborations growing and being really positive. I'm really excited about those. There's 3 at the moment that are really potentially good stuff in all sorts of different areas.
That's I think that's great, especially when you consider with the Cornwall and you're just from St Agnes, that you've got such a great reach, and you're, you know, as you say, it started off like being national, but actually you've got global reach and people that are interested, which is fantastic. And
all sorts of sectors, you know, like I say, not just about public private, but manufacturing, food manufacture, hospitality, you know, just it doesn't matter. And I've got a wealth of experience in all of those areas. And over the years, you know, because my background's manufacturing anyway, so I understand manufacturing, but also, you know, I've worked with in Cornwall people like Rodders and a proper Cornish, you know, to Withen. So that sort of food production I really get and understand, as long as with some you know, some tech companies, and so it doesn't matter, because people are still people, and that's the important bit. It doesn't matter what you do, it's how you do it that makes the difference.
You're talking about the best of Cornwall when you mentioned Rodders there. And do you have any business advice about somebody that was thinking about taking a journey on for themselves and becoming a business?
Yeah, I would say it's one of the biggest problems is that not problems, but I guess typically what happens is somebody who's good at something sets themselves up in a business at it. And there's a kind of entrepreneur myth that you know, that entrepreneurs are a typical type of person, but generally they're good technicians who decide to go it alone. And the really important bit is the interpersonal stuff. So the higher up an organization you go, the less you need the technical skills, but the more you need the interpersonal skills. And if you're starting up as a one-man band, you need both of those. It's not enough to be fantastic at what you do. You have to be able to market it. You have to be able to communicate about it. You've got to be able to recruit and train and motivate and lead the people within the business as well. So those are the things that people often miss. You know, you need the financial acumen, you need the marketing stuff, but what you really need is the people skills if you want to grow it.
Yeah, fantastic. And then I guess that's advice, but then similarly, do you have sort of 2 top tips, which would be great takeaways from today for someone?
Yeah, define your purpose.
Yeah.
That's the really important bit. And look after the people.
Nice.
There's those 2 things.
Yeah, I guess there's no business without any people.
No.
Yeah.
People forget that a lot, I think.
Yeah.